They say there's a type of wisdom attained from enlightenment. When that mind becomes empty again, reborn. So is there a procedure then to refill the mind in a particular way, using a particular religion, understanding a particular insight or revelation? Well, no, the mind is just reborn. The wisdom is that of a child. You can't imagine being that child, but could you imagine, not in your own memory of your own initial childlike state, but looking at other children? Can you imagine your mind is empty? You have no understanding of names, identities, rules, regulations, guidelines, practices, methods, no attachments, no associations, no beliefs, no hopes, no thoughts, no ideas, no concepts. So the mind is truly empty. Of course, we're not talking about the contents of the mind, we're talking about the space that the mind takes up. You know, the computer, when it's brand new, so much space. Yeah. The information or the stuff that's accepted into the computer is not creating the space, it's filling the space. This is very, very primitive and sensible, simple knowledge. When the pot is empty, you know it's empty, It's the water that does not make the pot. The water just fills up the space of the empty pot. So if you imagine this child with an empty mind, this is a state of awakening, or the rebirth stage after that initial emptying, that dissolution of ego, dissolution of mind, dissolution of all the things that Ramana Maharshi says it takes you so long to say not this, not this, not this, not this. But this child, it doesn't have to see a lion in front of it for the mind, for that empty space of its mind to be filled. It doesn't have to be a powerful seeing. It doesn't have to be a meteorite falling from the sky for the mind to go, oh, wow. Because that wow is the filling of the mind, It's the sound of the water from the top running into the pot. Can you imagine being the child? And at some point, the mind, the start button on mind is pressed. I don't know when that is. You don't know when that is. Is it the minute you come out of the womb and the breath begins? The smack on the bottom? Is it 5 days later when you get time to, reassess and chill and, for the body to come to terms with the environment and the oxygen and all the, scientific and biological ways that the body has to, accept and relate to? You don't know. But there's a point when that child suddenly realizes it has a mind. It doesn't have to be the lion, doesn't have to be the meteorite, doesn't have to be the parents' laughter, doesn't have to be the television screen, doesn't have to be a great wind or a big tidal wave. It can be from that simple oxygen. That simple opening the eyes, breathing through the nose, and whatever is in front of it, be it the sky, blue, quiet, grey clouds. That's a state of rebirth. Very simple biological state. No rocket science to the basic intelligent mind. When you open your eyes in the morning, of course, when you're happy in life, content, and you've no worries about the next day, you've no illness, you open your eyes, you stretch and you yawn, and you say, wow, yes, oh, I'm looking so forward to this day. And that simple transition from sleep to wakefulness, and that looking forward, absolutely fills your mind up. It fills your body up, it fills your soul up, it fills your spirit up, it fills everything that you are up. So the wisdom of enlightenment is learning again to be alive, truly alive. The wisdom is not about seeing God, having an out-of-body experience, hearing the voice of some universal, colossal, mystical. These are incidents. They don't come close. Even if God came, I mean, Mooji has a great story. If you met God, what would you do? You'd have a cup of tea, but you'd move on. You don't want him to. You don't want him to take you to death. You don't want him to take you to some duty other than there, away from your family. You see God, you move on. An incident. Being alive does not come close. Realizing you're alive. Realizing you have an empty mind, and that you can put things in it and store it for a rainy day. Realization of yourself existing is the wisdom. But you don't live in fear of that existence stopping, because the incidents of meeting God, the incidents of that universal shift, the incidents of out-of-body experiences, all these incidents explain to you there is no death. So therefore you can live this life fully, with no fear, with no concern about dying. You maybe have minuscule concerns about leaving your family and maybe not seeing them again in the next transition or whatever. But when you realize we're all one, born in the one moment, from the one breath, from the one pulse of God, not that God that we're talking about, the one that you meet in the street, the ultimate, absolute source of existence. You become friends with that. Because enlightenment is to remind you that you're alive, truly alive. And all the little incidents of success, relationships, attachments, desires, needs, time, they're all little fluctuations of life then. They're not massive. They're not massive. And your refilling of the mind, or the mind filling itself, because you know you're not the mind, you know you're not this body, but you are quite content to be this body, quite content to be this mind. I have to live this life out. I have to live this life out in a body. I know there's more, but for now, it may be a different environment, a different situation. You may be born with some sort of disability or some sort of inability, or the other way around. The ones that are born with disabilities and inabilities may have some sort of kingsmanship or whatever. You don't know. This is just thought. But you want to make the best of this life. And the best of this life, the only way you can make the best of this life, because you're already enlightened, you already love yourself, is to love everyone that's around you. And make sure that they have everything that they need. That you're there for them. That you put yourself forward. And all your suffering is worth it because it's about helping them realize that they're alive. It's not about making them better. It's not about teaching them religion or spirituality. It's about when they're down and depressed and they've got no money or they have a problem, drug-related, alcohol-related, sex-related, whatever. You have to remind them, whoa, do you know that you're still alive? Do you know that you are in this present moment? Do you know that this present moment is infinite? And in this present moment you will see the truth. You will become the truth. You will realize the truth. And reality is not seen as the present moment. Reality is seen as every moment. Every time moment. Every molecule, every atom. Every shift, every change, every disease, every illness is reality. But when you make something out of it, when you identify with words and meanings and procedures, processes, practices, methods, vaccinations, illness, how to get better, how not to get better, your mind is slowly filling with the information that you had before. So you say, no, I accept this information. People can hold this information, But my information really is I'm alive. And for this moment, I am truly grateful. You have thoughts through the emptiness about the wisdom, that an idea is not real, a concept is not real, a thought is not real. The activity of living life with no planning, with no organization, with no ideas, with no concepts, with no thoughts, with no comparisons, with no competitiveness, with no preferences, with no choices. Everything goes on as it is. Nothing changes. Just the mind is getting fuller and fuller. It's collecting all this stuff. It's collating all these ideas and concepts. It's collating. And like the computer, the hard drive fills up. And the type of computer you have, you need a new model. And you're not interested in removing any of the hard drive, the saved folders in your computer. Says, no, I'm not going to awaken. I'm not going to use the Ramana Maharshi method. I'm not going to lose anything. I don't want to lose anything. I don't want to lose my physical stuff. I don't want to lose my car, my house. I don't want to lose my family, but I certainly don't want to lose the ideas and the concepts that I have planned for. So I'm not going to give up this mind for a new model. And so you wait and you die, or your body dies, and you're given a new model body, and a rebirth of the mind. So enlightenment is not special. It's just a little early warning to say, come on, waking up. There's so much to live for. There's so much to do. And you say to the mind, yeah, okay, baby steps here, I'm still the baby, I don't want to fill my mind with clutter. I don't want to fill my mind with prospective ideas and concepts. I want to live for the moment. And in the moment, whatever's theirs in the moment, I will be there for. I will sacrifice and give up anything for this moment. Anyone that passes me in this moment will receive my love, humble adoration, acceptance, trust, faith, and my gratitude for just meeting you in this present moment. You have no idea what love is when the computer's full. The child and its first gasp, its first visionary experience, soundfully experience, sensically experience, gasps with pure ultimate joy. The child has been in a womb, it has been somewhere else before that, and it's been slapped on the bottom and it's been woken up. And it loves being alive. And we all love being alive. And some love putting themselves first, filling up their hard drive, focusing on their ego and their power and their status. And some just sacrifice everything and their poverty, turn to alcohol, drugs, turn to sexual deprivation, and they also suffer. The top and the bottom also always suffer. In the middle, they're very content, you know. I like a taste of the high life. But I understand what it's like to be poor, and I want to help these poor. So you just don't help the poor, you help the rich when you're enlightened. Not financially, but beingly. Being present every moment. It is truly bliss. It is truly beyond Sat Chit Ananda state, that overwhelming joy, that awakening, that gasp. Because we all know when the in-breath comes, the out-breath is just as sweet. The grounding, the coming to terms, the eyes twitching, the ears opening up, the nose sensing, the mouth gasping. Wow, can you believe it? I'm alive. I'm truly alive. I is truly alive. That's the present moment. That's true enlightenment. That's the result. That's the rebirth that Christ speaks about. And that is truly worthwhile. To understand what love is to be empty and prepare for being full, for being open. Prepare for all the incidents of God, the voice, the universe, the NDEs, the out-of-body experiences, the levitations, all the great moments of enlightenment and awakening, that moments of bliss and joy and love and incredible, pure, tranquil, conscious being opening up like that lotus flower. But all of that still takes you back to the present moment. And like Eckhart Tolle says, and Ram Dass and all us modern day tech geeks, spiritual geeks you want to call us, if you're really, really honest with this life, you'll understand Buddha nature is balanced, is contentment. God's not going to give you, it may give you a truly revelational thrill. And if you don't find God, it's going to give you a truly depressing life. But both of these states don't come close to that contentment. That contentment of just being alive, just being here. Is that what I is? It takes a long time. It took me 55 years to find the truth. But I would have waited another 3,055 years if I knew it was going to be like this. And I knew that life was going to be like that. I love you so much. Whatever your state, whatever your position, you were given life as a gift. Now use it well. Just be present. Be here now, Ram Dass says. Tolly says the power of now. The speaker says one moment. I is here. Always here. Always in the moment. Always now. Namaste.